You done heard 1,000 times before that there's no history of the Israelites ever being in Egypt, right? What if I told you that I found the city of the Hebrews in Egypt, hidden in plain sight? And I'm going to bring it out at the Passover. This Passover 2016. I'm going to rock today's word.
Like I said, we're going to get into some hot stuff today about Donald Trump. We're going to get into some of the things he's saying, some of the things that he basically tapping into that's always in the spirit of white people. Like white people got this term, I read it in a book. It's like a dog whistle or something like that. That's like the name of the term or something similar. It's like you blow a whistle that's a dog whistle, but human ears can't hear it. But a dog ear can hear it. So you blow it, and you don't hear nothing but a dog, like, then the dog come running. You know what I mean? That's a certain thing they use for dogs. That's what white people got. They got certain terms that they use that are like trigger terms that let other white people know we talking about black people. We talking about the Hispanics, the Native Americans, and the blacks. We talking about the children of Israel. They got certain terms that they use. So they're not outright saying, man, we need to lock up more black people. We need to kick out more Mexicans. They got certain terms that they use, and we're going to get in one of the terms that Donald Trump bringing back, the word silent majority. That's one of the things he be saying, that silent majority. So first, let's start off. If you've got a silent majority, what's the opposite of a silent majority? What would be the opposite?
What?
Go ahead.
The loud minority.
Right there, perfect. The loud minority. So you know what that's talking about. That's how you know when you talk about the silent majority, he's talking about white people. You know what I mean? Without saying, yeah, us white people, us beautiful white Aryan, stuff that what people say that's be controversial. He would say silent majority, and that's supposed to be a controversial term. No excuses. No cowards. I.S.U.P.K, no excuses, no cowards. Alright. Let's get Deuteronomy 17 and 15. So yeah, I was watching a little bit of the rally just to see what type of stuff he's saying. He's saying the same thing all white people have been saying. And nothing new. But he's studied. He has studied. I will say that about Donald Trump. He's not just just some back of the woods, don't know nothing about history, don't know nothing about white people, don't know nothing about how things work type of devil. He's one of them studied devils. You got a lot of devils that have been studied a lot. You know what I mean, in high society and whatnot. So he's definitely a proud devil, very proud, but he's also studied. And sees how that's white people like that. And why are white people like that? It's in the scriptures that they are proud themselves, and they like other white people that's real proud. Okay. Here's a great example: Conor McGregor. If anybody watched UFC fighting, Conor McGregor is some cat from like Ireland, and he came on the scene. Really, his first matches was cakewalk matches. You know what I mean? He had easy guys all the way until he got a championship, got a spot to fight for the championship. So it's not like he was a beast, but he talk a lot of trash. And he say this and he say that, you know what I mean? And white people loving it. White people love it. Oh yeah, we finally got a white guy that's talking trash and he's winning, but he really ain't beating nobody, you know, that's significant. He did beat one guy that's significant, Chad Mendez, but it was he was supposed to fight somebody else, so they called him in late, so he wasn't even in shape and ready for a fight. So yeah, he beat that guy, but he wasn't in shape. You know what I mean? He wasn't even ready for a fight. And just called, you know what I'm saying? He was off season damn near. So but then he ended up losing anyway. But white people like that. You know, we're gonna get that in the scriptures. They love that. They very proud. You know why? And the scripture said, drop Deuteronomy. Hold. Can you get two scriptures at once?
Okay.
Hold Deuteronomy 17 and 15 and give me Obadiah chapter 1 verse 3. White man very proud. You know what I mean? Can you hear everything okay? Trooper Korak? Alright, that's right. Obadiah is like right after the prophets in the middle. It's like one page or 2 pages. Hey, Shalom, you were calling the wrong number. Let me give you the right number to call for the class number. Okay. All right, no problem. Everybody in the class, hold on 1 second. And you got a Bible on your cell phone?
Okay.
Yeah, put it up like that. You ready? You ready for the number? 641-715-3570. And the access code. Go ahead. 3570. And the access code is 470194. Three five seven zero. And the access code is 470194. When you get a chance, make sure you save that in your phone. All right, Shalom. Go ahead and call that number.
Shalom.
Obadiah 1 and 3.
Okay.
Everybody still there in the class? Let's get it. Obadiah 1 and 3, man. White people love to see proud white people. That's man. They feel like that's where they need to be, man. And the Bible says the exact same thing about the Esau. Read.
Obadiah chapter 1 verse 3. The pride of thine heart have deceived thee.
The what of your heart?
Pride of thine heart.
The what?
Pride of thine heart.
The proudness that's in the white man's mind has deceived him. So it means he actually thinks he is great. He actually thinks that he was Jesus Christ. He actually thinks that God is white. He actually thinks that Moses is white. He actually thinks that he's an Israelite. He really thinks he's a Hebrew. But he's deceived himself. He really thinks that he made all the great inventions of America. That he done built all of this great country and he done had so many great inventions in his science and technology fields. It's all him, and he really thinks he's a great thing. But it's deceived him. Why? Because really this whole place was built off of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans' ingenuity, our mindset. Like we put our spirit into America. That's why America is the way it is. We have put our spirit into this place and made it like this is ours. But in all actuality, they getting everything. But we're just putting it all our work into it.
Right.
Right? For example, we went into this at camp. The first 3 colonies that the white man tried to establish here in America, they all failed. But they teach you about the one that kind of worked, which was the Pilgrims in Plymouth Rock. But he had other colonies before that, and this is what happened. They got over here and they said, I'm not doing all that work. You do it. You're not in charge. Who made you in charge? And then they bickered and fight and didn't get nothing done when they were able to hold down the colony in a new place. They weren't able to hold it down. Any new callers, state your name and city. All right, we're live. I got you. Anybody else? Okay. Let's get back. So read that over. Read that again.
Come on. The pride of thine heart have deceived thee.
Keep going.
Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock.
Dwell in the cliffs of rocks. It's the white man. That's his homeland. That's how we live now. These buildings, they still look like mountains, like just stone and everything and high. So, but the pride in his mind has deceived him. Like in his mind, he really thinks he's great, and in the last day, he's gonna be thinking he's so great. From getting his head pumped up from all these movies and from black people pumping up the white man's head, and from all the lies throughout history, he thinks he's gonna fight against the Lord. In the last days, he's going to fight against the Lord. He putting in all his movies. New X-Men movie. All the X-Men is fighting against this old thing that was in Egypt and is supposedly the God, you know what I mean, who was in Egypt and I guess destroyed Egypt. So you know what they talking about.
Right.
They talking about the Most High God of Israel.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yahweh, our God that destroyed Israel. Our power. That's what they talking about in that movie X-Men. You know what I mean? And they feel like they about to fight it and defeat it. Same with Transformers. At the newest Transformer movie, Optimus Prime, which is the sellout of all the Transformers, he's the top sellout. Like the Transformers trying to set up their world again because it got destroyed. He trying to stop it from being set up by helping fighting with the white man. At the end of the movie, he flies off into space. He says he's coming for the creator. Like the white man in his mind is so screwed up. He got the game so twisted. You know what I'm saying? The God of Israel about to come through and tear this place to shreds, man. He gonna put this place in the dust. He gonna put this place down low in the ground. It's easy to do, man. All you do is he can send one disease on the food and then there's no food. You know what I mean? That's how all America be shut down. It's easy things the Lord can do, you know what I mean? So the white man's just so proud. You know, he put in all of his movies. X-Men, Transformers. There's one more that's a big one. And there are like 2 or 3 of them. Either way, the Captain America, the Avengers movies. The first Avengers movie, the thing come out of all the men and stuff like come out on like chariot looking things, and the Avengers fight them and block them. They come like from the sky to take over the world, and he fight them off. the Avengers cats fight them off. You know what I mean? That same thing happened in the last Avengers movie they made. Like all the Avengers movies is damn near about the same thing. An army coming out the sky and the Avengers coming together to fight them off. You know what I mean? The white man has stolen so much from the Bible that he can't even make an original movie no more. Like all his movies, just the same archetype, the same movie, based off the same story out of the Bible. You know what I mean? His heart has deceived him, man. He is really deceived right now. Like he that girl that look alright, but think she like the hottest thing ever. Like you alright, but you think you is, you know, super bad when you just, you alright. You're not the greatest looking thing ever. You know what I mean? That's the white man. Like his head is pumped up so high. And the scriptures say it. Read it again. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, you're right. You're right. This is our hell, and this is the white man's heaven. This is his heaven right here. This is as good as it's ever going to get for white society in the history of humankind. You look back in history, like, it's easy to understand how this place is going to be destroyed, and you know what I'm saying, if you look at history. History is very important. That's why when they took away our history, that was a major blow. You know what I mean? They took it too far. And they took away our history and then started acting like they were us. They then took it too far. Like, when you look at history and you see Africans had great societies. That was the #1 society in all of the earth, had the biggest, largest cities, had the most power. Africans had that. The East Indian people had that, the greatest society. The Arabs had it. And when I say the Africans, I'm talking about the Babylonians. And then you had the Egyptians. Africans had great society, like how America is the #1. There was a time when Africans were #1. That was the time of Babylon, who was the Africans, and that's the time of Egypt. And that's another cut, just a quick sidebar, that's another cut for them Egyptologists and black folks that think Egypt was so great, so grand. Like, Babylon was a great society too, and a great country, the greatest power too, and they were Africans. Why don't they ever talk about Babylon? Why don't they ever say we're Babylonians? But yet they always want to say we're Egyptians, because the white man worships Egypt. You look at the dollar, what's on the dollar? Pyramids. What were the founding fathers? Masons. What do Masons believe in? Egyptology stuff. So when you look at, you gotta learn history so you can put in your mind like how kingdoms rise and kingdoms fall. You know what I mean? People rise and people fall. So black people, for you to sell out to the white man and think the white man is all in all and he's the greatest, it's either one, you're ignorant, and it's either two, you know what I mean? Ignorant really just sums it up. You don't know that kingdoms rise and fall all the time. The Most High is over all kingdoms. Our God is over all kingdoms. So why are you worshiping this kingdom more than God that created this kingdom? You know what I mean? So, like I said, there's been other great kingdoms. Babylon, Egypt, Africans, Assyria. Those would be like people in the Middle East, like Iraqis. You know what I mean? You got Persia, the Persian Empire, and the Persian and the Mede Empire, which is the people of India and the people, not India, like more like Pakistan and the people of Iran. That's Persian Mede Empire, which is Pakistani type people with the people of Iran, Persian Mede Empire. So you had those empires. After the Persian Mede, you had the Greek Empire. And then even during the Greek Empire, when it was on its decline, guess who fought back and got power? Israel. That's in the book of the Maccabees. Our history, when Greek was on the decline, Greece, it broke up and it was on decline, we went to war against Greece and we defeated Greece and we set up our own city-states. We had our own city-states, our own governors, and we was independent. They took us over, we fought them off, and then we fought for our own rights and had our own rights, our own city-states. You know what I mean? Then after that, we actually made pacts and deals with Rome. That was where we fell off. After we defeated the Greeks and we was our own, we went and made deals with Rome because we thought they were an honorable people. You know what I mean? That's how the white man always gets you. Like the scriptures say, they crouch down, they settle down to trick you. They humble themselves. So that's what Rome did. Rome see that we wasn't nothing to mess with, so they humbled themselves and act like they weren't trying to take over us and act like we're going to be friends and our enemies will be your enemies and our friends will be your friends. We actually made deals with Rome and thought like Rome was going to help us if we got in a war or something. Like Rome wasn't going to take us over in the last minute and turn their back on us and then come through and take over. That's what they ended up doing. So that's where we went off. We had peace and made peace and deals and stuff with Rome. When the scriptures say we don't make pacts and deals with the heathens like that. We do business with the heathens, but we don't like make a pact and say, well, you're going to be our brothers. You can come be with our nation. You'll be like us. We'll treat you like you're one of us. The only way you can be treated like an Israelite is you got to be born an Israelite. It's a birthright. It's a special birthright that you get from being black, Hispanic, and Native American. You can't get it no other way. That's what Christians got the game messed up. Black Christians, I mean. So, let's get Deuteronomy 17 and 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15.
Salaki, say it again. First, yeah, let's get that. The water, soldier. Let's get that. First Maccabees chapter 8. Let's get that. Verse 1. All right. Sweet. Let's get it. Yeah, that's where we fell off right there, man. Making deals with the Romans.
First Maccabees chapter 8, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Now Judas had heard of the fame of the Romans.
So we heard about the Romans, and this is around the time when I don't know if this is before or after Hannibal, which was the African that went to war with Rome to be the top superpower. Because at that time you had the Carthage, which was the African at the north of Africa, an African society. They were vying for power over the Mediterranean Sea. Like, I wish I had a map, because the Mediterranean Sea was where all the trade happened, from here to there, from Western Asia to Spain to Africa to Italy. All of that trade went through the Mediterranean. Now, Rome and Carthage were the top two countries trying to get like a power over the Mediterranean. Whichever country owned the Mediterranean, that would be the top country. Which means, when I say own, that means they get to tax whichever boat and whichever trade comes through. So that means we're the top country, we get to tax. We're taxing everybody. And then everybody pays taxes to us. And then they will be the top power. Now, Rome and Carthage went to war called the Punic Wars over that. Africans and the Romans and the white man. And Hannibal, he defeated the Romans in battle all across Europe. Was whooping their tail. They killing them all over the field, man. They had elephants up over there, brought them from Africa on some type of crazy way. Well, you know what I'm saying? Traveled through the mountains and was killing Romans left and right. But the Romans didn't give up, and he was forced to go back to Africa. Then the Romans led an attack on him while he was in Africa, and ended up defeating him, and really defeated him more politically. They defeated him politically. Like, the people that Hannibal was the leader, he was the king, but the people in Carthage, while he was out at war, the Romans was giving them money to like undermine him and say, man, he's out fighting the Romans, we should be making money, blah, 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 blah. So the Romans kind of undermined him with, how white people do, trying to sell out and have them sell out. That's all. That's what they did. So here, this is around that time, right? Now he's starting to hear the fame of Rome. Rome then defeated Carthage. Now Rome is starting to come up in power and be a top superpower. Now he heard the fame of it. Keep going.
That they were mighty and valiant men.
Yeah, they were mighty and valiant. Like, after they've had their wars with the Punic Wars, the soldiers they had that survived, they were hardcore soldiers because they just survived like the greatest onslaught of their whole history. Then the Romans was getting devastated and killed in battle, left and right. And then they eventually regrouped and then went back and took out Hannibal. So they got seasoned in war from fighting this great, this African general that was better than them. Keep going.
And such as would lovingly accept all that joined themselves unto them.
Right there. So now he see how they would accept everybody to join themselves to them. Why would Rome join themselves with everybody during this time?
Shalaki.
Go ahead.
To be stronger.
To be strong, because look what I just said. They got the power. They won wars to get the Mediterranean. So yeah, now everybody, let's all be one. That's the white man's thing. He say that now, let's all be one. After black people were in the ghetto or poor or slavery, lost all our businesses, lost everything. We have to get it. We all have to work for white people 24/7. It's not like we got our own stuff going on, but we can just, man, let's just live in the black neighborhood and have our black stores. We like in survival mode right now. So yeah, the white man's like, come and join with us. Because he know he got power over us. It's automatic enslavement right there. If I got all the power and money and you have nothing, you have no choice but to serve me because I got the food.
Right.
I got the water. I got the cattle. I got the land. And everything's in my name. So obviously, you gonna have to work for me. Now that's the white man. So now the white man is making, just getting with everybody. Keep going.
And make a league of amity with all that came unto them.
Mm-hmm.
And that, chapter 2, or Salaki, verse 2, and that they were men of great valor. It was told him also of their wars and noble acts.
Of their wars and noble acts, exactly. What I was talking about, the Punic Wars, and things of that nature. Keep going.
Which they had done among the Galatians, and how they had conquered them and brought them under tribute.
And they conquered the Galatians, which is kind of close, which is like Greeks. You know what I mean? We conquered the Galatians. Now, matter of fact, I think during this time, the Galatians were the Japhetic people, which were like Hawaiians, Samoans in heritage. They were the original Europeans. White people were not all throughout Europe like they are now. They done spread into Europe just like they spread into America. There was a time where there was no white people in America. And then white people came and spread out like a virus. This is the same thing that happened in Europe. There was a time where there was no white people in Europe, but Hawaiian, Samoan, and heritage people. You read that, the Hittites. There was a Hawaiian, Samoan heritage. There was a great kingdom type. The Hittites, I want to say the Akkadians, but I'm not sure on the Akkadians. But they had all type of little kingdoms up there. You have to get you one of them old war history books where it got the old kingdoms of that time. I love reading books like that. But so they came into Europe and they spread into Europe like a plague and took over. That's where they defeated the Galatians. All right, keep going.
Verse 3, and what they had done in the country of Spain.
Mm-hmm. In Spain, that was where they fought the Hannibal guy that I was talking about. They fought him in Spain as well. Keep going.
For the winning of the mines of the silver and gold which is there.
Mm-hmm. Keep going.
Verse 4, and that by their policy and patience they had conquered all the place.
Go ahead.
Though it were very far from them.
Yeah, so he been hearing about it even though it's far away. And this is how white man wins in battles when it comes to Romans. It was called scorched earth. Scorched earth, which is against our policy when it comes to warfare. We don't have warfare and scorched earth campaigns, which is basically this. When you bring your army against them and they live in a walled city or something like that, so you go to battle and then at the end of the battle you go back and regroup and see if you keep going and want to keep fighting. Now, what the white man would do was he would go to all the trees and cut them down. all the farms and burn them up, all the lakes and poison them, and go to all, just like what he did in America to the Native Americans, where he killed all the buffalo. Like they got pictures of buffalo skulls 2 stories high. They killed millions of buffalo, just because the Native Americans used to kill and eat the buffaloes. So what do? You kill all the buffaloes, they don't have nothing to eat, they got to come to you now and be subservient to you. And you can easily defeat them that way. That was the white man's campaigns, and that's what he heard about how they conquered. That's how they did it. They would have scorched earth. And that's against our scriptures. When you read our scriptures, when they say when we go out to war, the Lord tells us don't cut down all the trees because we will use those for food. You know what I mean? That's the way the Lord had us do it. Keep going.
Okay. And the kings also that came against them from the uttermost part of the earth, till they had discomfited them.
So yeah, all the different wars he's hearing about, they get it in. Keep going.
And given them a great overthrow, so that the rest did give them tribute every year.
That's from taxes. I was just talking about all them taxes. Keep going.
Verse 5. Besides this, how they had discomfited in battle Philip and Perseus, king of the Scythians, with others that lifted up themselves against them, and had overcome them.
Now these right there, I believe, is the Greeks. Some Greeks right here. Philip and Perseus. Them is Greeks. Alright. Keep going.
Verse 6. How also Antiochus, the great king of Asia, that came against them in battle, having 120 elephants, with horsemen and chariots, and a very great army, was discomfited by them.
Yeah, see, even he had elephants against the Romans, but the Romans knew how to fight against elephants, because they fought in Punic wars against Carthage and Hannibal. So they fought against elephants a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's not nothing to them, because they figured out how they figured out how you can defeat the elephants. What you do is you could, when they bring the elephants out, you would cut your horse's neck, and the blood of the horse would scare them away and make them turn around. And then they would turn around and go, and now you got an elephant coming at you when you sent it at them to trample in. Now it's coming at you to trample you. All right. So they had other ways where they could defeat the elephants in battle. You know, keep going.
Okay. Verse 7. And how they took him alive in covenant that he and such as reigned after him should pay a great tribute and give hostages, and that which was agreed upon.
So look, he hearing how these white people dealt with other white people. He not hearing how, I mean, that's just different right there. White people deal with other white people in a way that they do not deal with black people that way.
Right.
You know what I mean? So basically, a white cop, he might pull over a white man that's drunk and say, man, come on, pull it together, man. You need to stop this. You need to get your life right, man. I'm going to do this and that before you ride you home. You need a cop. But if it's a black man, pull him out the car, you're probably going to beat him, you're going to throw him, you're going to arrest him, you're going to tow his car, you're going to do this, that, and the third. White people, I've been in a car with a white person, and they got pulled over, and he had no license. He said it before the cop came, I don't got no license, he just gave him his ID. And the cop just let him roll out. He just kept rolling. He showed him the ID, and he's like, yeah, I'm from Australia, this is when I was in college. I'm from Australia, and blah, 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 blah. And the cop then that's it. No arrest, no towing of his car, no ticket, no nothing. He didn't even have no license. White people don't give a damn if a white person got a license. They only care if you have a license. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They care if you have a license, if you have insurance, if you are wearing your seatbelt. White people don't have to worry about that stuff at all. So this is how the Romans handled with the Greeks when they defeated the Greeks. They like, hey, you're white like us. Why are we even fighting? Let's make a covenant, but we're stronger, so you got to pay towards us, and this and that. And they just became one. That's all. Greece and Rome just became one. Keep going.
Verse 8. And the country of India and Media and Lydia and of the goodliest countries, which they took of him and gave to him King Eumenes.
Them is other territories that the Greeks had under tribute. Keep going.
Verse 9. Moreover, how the Grecians had determined to come and destroy them. Verse 10. And that they, having knowledge thereof, sent against them a certain captain, and fighting with...
Let's skip all that. So he fought some more with the Greeks and blah, blah, blah. And a lot of them is lies anyway. White men always lying about what he did and what he accomplished. You know what I mean? That's his MO. He's a liar. That's why the Bible even calls him the devil, which means deceiver. Devil in the text. When you see the word devil in the text, it means deceiver, liars. That's a strong term for a liar. The Lord even calls Esau a liar. So obviously, he lying about most of the stuff that he heard about. The white man always lying. Keep going.
Salakia.
Yeah. Let's go to 15.
Verse 15. Moreover, how they had made for themselves a senate house, wherein 320 men sat in council daily, consulting always for the people, to the end they might be well ordered.
Same as it was back then, same as today. What we got today? The House of Senate, the House of the this, and the this and the that. And they do what? They sit together and they vote and they veto and they do this and that. Same thing they doing then, same thing they doing now. All right. Go to verse 17.
Verse 17. In consideration of these things, Judah chose Eupolemus, the son of John, the son of Achos, and Jason, the son of Eleazar, and sent them to Rome to make a league of amendment and confederacy with them.
All right, that was a wrong move right there. That was the wrong move. Judas was a great and honorable and mighty warrior that's going to go down in all of history as such. But that was not a smart move. Judas was known for what? Warfare. Not making pacts and deals. We should have stayed at war and at odds with the Romans and with everybody.
I be sipping on my sorrow. You fucked over me today, well I can't fuck with you tomorrow. Pay no mind and I can borrow. I'm gon' spread that U.P.K until them devils feel my sorrow. Try to rob me from my check, nigga. Bet not break them laws, you know that's Steph, nigga. What if the Lord took you out your flesh, nigga? Fucking with the prophets, you get less, nigga. Ops in the belly of the beast. I am all about my butter, got the jelly with the wheat. Niggas know it ain't sweet, though. Like a piece of roll, you can feel the heat, though. Young Dooley Dad'll call me the ski, though. I'm sliding on them cold as a Minnesota winter. I survive it on them.